The woman sits on a ledge that overhangs infinity. She looks down and kicks her legs. The stars shine brilliant here, because the sun is only fractionally brighter than the rest of them. Seoul lies almost perfectly below her. Of course, up and down are defined only by the thrust axis of Yanglue. Upward, the black umbrella of the shield and the matter storage, and the docked ships which make Yanglue not just a mothership, but an entire traveling fleet. Down below, along the slim spine of the ship, the shielded bulb of the engine glows invisibly infrared. If she slips off this ledge, she will fall down the ship's length at 1/3 of an Earth gravity. Not because there's anything pulling her, but because the ship is pulling away. Yanglue is accelerating slowly but inexorably toward the stars. She is of no single race or ancestry, and the light on her skin is the color of starlight. She drifts with her suit tinted clear so she can soak it up. She was 19 years and 9 months old at the moment the ship began its transstellar injection burn, although this is true only if you count by the calendar of a planet she was barely visited, but will always love. She thinks you cannot help but love Earth if you grow up in space. You love Earth the way all adolescents secretly adore 2-century-old videos of Nai and Ye dancing on New Year's Eve. Earth does not ask too much. The colonies are demanding parents, but Earth is like a chill old grandma, simmering in weird art and weirder ideas, enthroned upon ecology older than human time. Earth was the first terraformed world. Life made Earth livable. She is going with Yanglue and the rest of Project Amarita to make new worlds. She came because she saw an omen in a man's death. She was on Eva with him, repairing a jammed radiator fin in an uncrewed circumjovian platform. They worked in a companionable silence, listening to the howl of the Jovian magnetosphere when it happened. A frozen rabbit embryo came out of deep space at 40 kilometers per second and went through his faceplate. The rabbit must have been spilled in a biocontainer accident far from the sun to plunge back inward like a comet. Immediately afterward, for reasons very clear to her, because she has always had a sense for the meaning of things, reasons very difficult to explain to others, because she has always felt this sense was secret, she asked her mother if the family could travel with Project Amarita. Amarita, the drink that endeth drinking, the bottomless cup. It is the quest to spread far beyond the solar system and to end the human dependence on the traveler. It calls to those who see humanity as a cocoon, an instar, a form ready to be shed. She is an autarch third class, a self-motivating subsystem of the ship's inclusive ecology, a term that spans technology, biology, and behavior, all of which must be maintained for the mission to succeed. Her task is to locate problems and report them to Autarch's second class, who will give her the tools she needs to repair them. But she never speaks to her second. She never tells anyone about the problems she finds. Instead, she fixes them herself. Her work has therefore assumed a magical quality. She appears where there is trouble, and shortly afterward, the trouble goes away. People have begun to leave gifts for her. Some of these gifts are questions. She answers the questions with a quiet confidence. Some would argue she has not earned. She knows she sees more of their lives than they see of hers, and that this mystery, this seeing without being seen, grants her a kind of power that is like wisdom. She lives outside the ship, suited and cocooned in a layer of cytogel, which keeps her surgically clean. She misses the wild zero-gravity fashions of her upbringing, clothes like drifting jellyfish that squirm away from snags, self-correcting darts in the fabric silk like cool spilled alcohol. She misses the sense of oil and sweat on her skin, for the suit leaves her so clean that she feels skinned raw. Still, she stays out here because she wants to feel the changing taste of starlight as the universe ahead blue shifts. As Yanglue accelerates toward light speed, it moves faster and faster into the light coming from ahead. If light were like dust, it would strike Yang faster, but light can never change speed, so it gains energy instead. Red light is low energy, and blue-violet light is high energy, so the universe becomes blue. Even now, the very tip of the visual spectrum, violet-blue light is shifting up into invisible ultraviolet, the color of speed, the color of future. "Mara!" the fighter shouts, delighted, and a punch shuts him concussively up. It's a real good hit, a thunderous uppercut to the point of the jaw. Mara hears his teeth grind across each other, down into lip flesh and shredded gums. She cringes in silent sympathy. He loses his grip on the equipment rack and tumbles out into zero gravity in a big arc of blood. His opponent goes for the coup de grace, kicks off hard and catches him in the stomach like a human torpedo. They plunge together toward the kill zone painted on the floor. Uldwyn grins messily at Mara over his opponent's shoulder. He's fighting a big, brutal woman from Gravity Ops, a woman who's had her myostatin genes knocked out so she can swell up into a giant plug of brawn. Uldwyn doesn't have a chance. He took the fight for the same reason he wanted to join the Emerita expedition. He measures himself by the bravery of his losses, by what he can survive losing. He applies a blood choke. It's the right move, but it doesn't matter. The woman groans, grays out, goes limp, but Uldwyn can't get out from beneath her sheer inertia before he hits the kill zone. The bell goes off. Uldwyn groans as his rail-hard body forcibly decelerates his opponent's entire mass. Events have built up momentum, and he is just in the way. "What did you lose?" Mara asks him. He lies there, panting and grinning, shedding perfectly round spheres of blood. "It's good to see you inside. What brought you?" She and her fraternal twin never answer each other's questions directly. Mara's cool with this because she feels like words are a very bad system of encryption, and that if you really want to communicate with someone, you must develop your own special one-to-one crypto system. The ideal statement, Mara feels, would be indecipherable to anyone but the person it's spoken to, and even then, only if they know you are the one speaking. "I got you some pictures," she says, pushing the big woman off of him, eliciting a fuzzy, "Oh, hi Mara." Full sensorism captures. "You can trade them for the parts I need." Uldwyn helps the big woman pull herself vertical, but his eyes are narrow on Mara. Not because he's sore at the idea of helping her. He's always liked bartering, bargaining, the hustle. But because he knows what kind of black market wants these captures. How far off the hole did you take them? How far off? All the way off. They're in zero gravity because Yang Luwei shut off its engines for an inspection cycle. So while Uldwyn got in prize fights, Mara kicked off Yang Luwei's forward shield and coasted 10 kilometers into pure void, tethered by only a thread-thin molecular line. She ordered her suit's cytogel to gather around her face. Then, only then, she overrode every sanity system in her soft suit and commanded it to retract into storage mode. The suit peeled away like rind, and she was drifting in hard vacuum. The void boiled the water of her skin. Her body swelled with unchecked pressure until her undersuit forced it to stop. Alarmed cytogel crawled down her throat, hissing emergency oxygen. Not enough. Her skin blued with cyanosis. She was bathed in the most profound emptiness. She recorded all of it at the neural level. The exquisite darkness, the sense of fatal independence from all things. There are those who will give anything to feel that void. "You can't keep doing this," Uldren complains as the big woman stares at Mara in awe. "Mom is going to die of worry." "I really don't care what risk you take," Mara's mother sighs. "That's the deal we made, my little yellow star." "Mom," Mara protests. "My discarded tube of sealant, my sweet little fleck of paint." Osana likes to compare Mara to small, pestilent items that drift near spacecraft, like crystals of frozen urine, as far as Mara can tell. Osana is the apex of centuries-long project to create the ultimate embarrassing mom. She is also very blunt. "Mara, even when you were little, you wanted me to treat you like an adult, so I have. But you remember what I told you, don't you? If you don't want to be my daughter, I can't watch over you like a mother would. I can't put you first like a mother would. I will always be your friend, but I have to make my own choices too." "That doesn't mean you had to tell the captain." They walk shoulder to shoulder down the companionway to Captain Lee's wardroom. Mara keeps trying to get a step ahead, to lead, but Osana somehow matches her every time. Of course I did, Osana says. You started a cult, Mara. If I didn't say anything to the captain, Behavior would have had this conversation with you instead. Do you want that? I didn't do anything. People liked my captures. People left me presents, spare parts, tips. Then Uldwyn got into it. You know how he is. Don't. Osana wheels on her. For shame, Mara. You know your brother will follow anywhere you lead. You know he's not capable of the same... Her lips twitch. Imperial remove. You knew he'd brag about you living on the hull, and you let him do it. It is one thing to have a particular power over people, Mara, but it is another thing to deny that you are using it. Mara thinks she can come up with a stinging retort, given a few more paces, but it's too late. The hatch to Captain Lee's wardroom swings open. Mara's terrified of this place. This is where Captain Alice Lee, divine presence in Mara's life, interfaces with the officers, who are the manifestations of her will. Since Mara wants to be Alice Lee someday, the wardroom makes Mara feel like she is a usurper princess scoping out her rival's court. Captain Lee offers them tea. Mara can't imagine the ways in which she is butchering what must be an intricate and meaningful tea ceremony. Lee serves some very battered pre-traveler's ceramic sloshing with hot green tea, then immediately adulterates her own cup with milk from the cow thing on the bio deck. Revolting, isn't it? She smiles at Mara's bewildered horror. You should have seen what I put in my tea when I was camping in Mongolia. I understand your colleague, who is also your mother, has some concerns about your relationship with the rest of the crew. My darling Mara, Osana says, has entirely, by accident I'm sure, cultivated a reputation as a minor divinity. Her captures from outside the ship are hot items for barter. People draw fan art. There are tips left for her. You take captures while EVA? Sometimes without a suit. Lee nods. Yes, I've played one. A remarkable sensation. This makes Mara grin impetuously. Mara, you are an autarch, a volunteer. I cannot order you to stop, and your work is exemplary. Are you putting anyone else in danger with your art projects? No, Mara says. Just myself. False, Lee barks. That is a selfish answer. You are now a symbol to my crew, a house god. If you were to die, they would lose something important, something human, that they have created out of loneliness and void. It would be an unforgettable reminder of the hostile nothingness that surrounds us. When you endanger yourself, you endanger that symbol. You are a part of this mission's behavioral armor, Mara. Mara is thunderstruck. She's never thought about it this way. All I did was take some captures. I didn't ask to be anyone's mascot. You presented yourself as a conduit to secret knowledge, Captain Lee counters. People made something out of you, Mara. Please, take this from a starship captain. What people make of you, what they create of you, even without your consent, becomes a kind of responsibility. If the Mara they see when they look at you is good for them, then you have some duty to be that Mara. She looks to Osana. What about your boy? He's in medical more often than any of the other underground fighters. It does not surprise Mara that Captain Lee knows about the fights. My son, Osana says, is determined to be his own worst enemy. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us. Of course. Lee studies them coolly. I keep an ear out for curious personalities, people who might be suited to long-term isolation while the rest of us are in cryo, people who awaken when others sleep.